What is going on, Pats Nation? You guys already know who it is. Patriots Global here, back with another video, and in this one, I want to talk about why Patriots fans should be, one, optimistic, but two, excited for the 2023 offseason. Now look, I know you're probably thinking, Patriots Global, maybe we should get through this offseason first and this upcoming season before we talk about next offseason. And you're right, we probably should, but I've just seen a lot of Patriots fans who are super down in the dumps, and not even just Patriots fans, it's league-wide around fan bases, NFL analysts, NFL experts kind of hindering on the Patriots already, just a year after this team was in the playoffs and made huge splash in free agency and the 2021 draft. And I will admit that this team definitely is going to have to get a lot more competitive than last season because of just how good the AFC alone has gotten. But last offseason, the Patriots made so many free agency moves that they really made enough for 2 seasons, and I think that was their thought process with Bill Belichick, knowing that this offseason we weren't going to have, one, a lot of money to spend in free agency, and two, we weren't going to have a whole lot of draft picks to be able to use in this 2022 draft. I do want to say, though, I think this team is going to be a lot better than people think it's going to be in 2022. You look at the free agency moves they made last year, you look at the draft class they had last year, we have a lot of guys, even the acquisitions they made this offseason, very few, but still a couple that are going to go a long way for next season. But let's even say that the Patriots do have a little bit of a slumped down 2022 season. They will without a doubt be coming out in 2023 guns blazing for these 2 reasons. Now, the first one is going to be that the Patriots are expected to have somewhere between $90 to $102 million in cap space. At this current time, they are projected to have about $102 million. That number's never exact. We're not going to know until next offseason just the exact number that the Patriots have, but it's going to be somewhere between $90 to $102 million in available cap space. That's going to be one of the highest in the entire NFL next offseason. The Patriots are going to have more than enough money to go ahead in free agency and trades and make several different moves along with re-signing the players that they need to re-sign. Now, the Patriots free agency list for 2023, it's really long, but I think that a lot of Patriots fans hear that cap number of $90 to $100 million and they say, wow, we have a lot of really important key free agents to sign next offseason. We're not going to have that much money to be able to go ahead and spend to acquire new players, and that, guys, is where you're wrong. I'm going to read you guys the list of the Patriots 2023 pending free agents. So basically all these guys are in contract year for 2022. Nelson Aguilar, Devin McCordy, Devon Godchow, Jonathan Jones, Jacoby Myers, Henry Anderson, Isaiah Wynn, Matthew Slater, N'Keal Harry, Cody Davis, Jabril Peppers, Terrence Mitchell, Juwan Williams, Raekwon McMillan, Harvey Longy, Joe Cardona, James Ferentz, Jelani Tavai, Damian Harris, Yannick Kajust, Jarrett Stidham, Miles Bryant, Yasir Durant, Mac Wilson, Byron Cowart, Jake Bailey, JJ Taylor, and Terez Hall. Again, very hefty list. It's a very long list for the Patriots, but you read it and there's really not a lot of key guys that the Patriots have to bring back. This is a lot of rotational pieces. This is a lot of situational players, guys that honestly aren't even locks to make this upcoming roster. So with that being said, the Patriots are going to have a lot of money next offseason to be able to, one, extend players who are upcoming free agents, but two, really be able to bring in quality new additions. I look at this list and there's only a couple of key guys that really stand out. The rest of this list is guys that the Patriots, again, could easily replace and easily upgrade at. Now, some of the guys that do stand out to me, obviously, Nelson Aguilar is a name that is currently important to the Patriots roster. I doubt that he's going to serve some big role for this upcoming season. That's going to put him at a standpoint where the Patriots genuinely do need to re-sign him. Obviously, they can upgrade at receiver with over Nelson Aguilar, and I do expect them to do that, but still a name, of course, to watch. Devin McCordy is just on a year-to-year basis with retirement. If he does want to return to the NFL, he's going to return to the Patriots, and it's not going to be on some huge, hefty deal. Devon Godchow is another one that stands out to me. He had a much better 2021 season than a lot of people give credit for. Even if the Patriots don't bring him back and he heads somewhere else in free agency, he's definitely a guy that I'm confident they can replace, but I know that he's a guy that they like. Now, Jonathan Jones is another one. He's been one of the best slot corners in the entire National Football League for a few years now. He is getting older, but he's been a key piece, especially because he's the fastest defender for the Patriots, especially within their secondary. So bringing him back, it's going to be pretty big for this team. Now, Jacoby Myers is another one. He's going to be an unrestricted free agent. I do think the Patriots could even upgrade at Jacoby Myers, and they might honestly look to do so. He's definitely going to have a market, but with the Patriots having so much cap space, if they want to bring Jacoby Myers back, they'll be able to do so. Now, Isaiah Wynn is a really interesting case here. He could honestly go out as a tackle and get a really good market, and be in a price range where the Patriots just don't want to give him that kind of money. It wouldn't surprise me, but in that case, the Patriots will just go out, sign a better free agent at the tackle position, or just go ahead and draft the guy at that point. But definitely Isaiah Wynn with the offensive line, the starting left tackle, it's going to be something to watch. And then honestly, the last guy on this list that could genuinely go out and get a bag and could really have a market value is Damian Harris. Damian Harris is in contract year. He's a really important piece of this offense, but he's a running back. You know, is Bill Belichick really going to want to go out and give a bag to a running back? I'm just not sure. But those are really the only key pieces that are upcoming free agents that you really want to watch, because they could be in a competitive market. All these other guys like Byron Cowart, J.J. Taylor, Terez Hall, Jawan Williams, Terrence Mitchell, N'Keal Harry, Cody Davis, Henry Anderson, who's at the top of this list. I mean, these are guys that even if they do walk in free agency, you're not going to lose any sleep over this. With that being said, the Patriots are going to have so much money to go out and bring in new quality acquisitions in free agency, and that brings up this upcoming free agency list. There's a lot of really good free agents in 2023 that I like. Now, this list is still going to be pending, of course. Teams will re-sign some of these guys, franchise tag some of these guys. More players will be added to this list just because guys will naturally be released. But some guys I do like that are currently on this list: Fletcher Cox, Grady Jarrett, Cam Robinson, the left tackle with Jacksonville; Orlando Brown, the tackle with Kansas City; Brandon Cooks is going to be a free agent. DJ Humphries is another guy to watch at the offensive line. James Bradbury, the corner with the Giants that we're talking about trading for, is going to be a free agent at the end of the season, so maybe the Patriots just look to target him then. JJ Watt will be a free agent. Marcus Peters will be a free agent. Jack Conklin will be a free agent. He's a right tackle. I know that's currently where Trent Brown is, but could still be a name to watch at the offensive line. Jesse Bates, Levante David, Jordan Poyer, Minka Fitzpatrick, Nick Bosa, Quinnen Williams, Denzel Ward, Bradley Roby. A lot of really good options for the Patriots at cornerback if they want to wait a year and look to upgrade in free agency. The Patriots very rarely have years like they did in 2021, but next year could be very equivalent to that, if not even better. Now, the second reason to be optimistic about 2023 in the offseason is that the Patriots are currently projected to have about 9 total draft picks already for 2023. They're expected to have a first-round pick, a second-round pick, a third-round pick, a fourth, another fourth, a sixth, another sixth, and a 7th-round pick. Now, the Patriots would have had 10 draft picks. They would have had another 3rd-round pick because of J.C. Jackson, but of course, that 3rd-round pick is going to the Dolphins because of the Devontae Parker trade. With all these draft picks, the Patriots will be in a position for the 2023 draft to be able to either move up and get better quality players, or at the very least be in a position where they can have a very big draft class with several different young players coming in, or with all the money that the Patriots are going to have, maybe they try to acquire these players via trade from other teams that are high-end quality players. Again, I don't think this team is in as bad of a position that a lot of teams do, or not a lot of teams, but a lot of fan bases and NFL analysts think that we are. But even if this team does take a step back, like some people are projecting us to, we'll be coming out in the 2023 offseason with guns blazing, with all of the draft capital and all the free agent spending spree money that we're about to have. But what are your guys' thoughts on this? Let me know in the comment section below. Remember to leave a big like on the video and subscribe to the channel for all of your New England Patriots news. Like always, though, I appreciate y'all for watching, and go Pats.